Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now on GSL's Calm Before the Storm, an enormous map, fairly new one, and it does. I think this is a new tile set actually that's supposed to be coming out in Heart of the Swarm. I'm actually not entirely sure about that. If somebody knows, let me know. But yeah, it's definitely a different tile set, slightly different. And we do have our finals here tonight. Is going to be TSLfive and ClashLegal. Looks like both of these players do speak Korean. They're going to be chatting away here in Korean for just a little while. Not a bad deal. But they are going to be spawning at the top side of the map, top left. TSLfive, he is green Terran. ClashLegal, purple Protoss in the top right. This map, absolutely enormous as I was mentioning, and it does have a full expand in the backside of your main. Go down this ramp, backside of the main, full expand there, okay? Then there's a small ramp here at at the front of your main, I guess is what you would call it, the front, that you can block off there. And there is a full expand down here as well that is actually fairly easy to take. You can keep your army right here. And so basically this is, I mean, it's like kind of like a Terminus in a lot of ways. It's very, very easy to get on 3 bases, so you can see a lot of big macro games here, and especially since they are full expands. I mean, none of these are half expands. You're not missing any minerals, you're not missing any gas, nothing. Completely full-sized expands, and does make a big difference in these games. So you do have a very, very, very high potential for macro games. Now the supply depot going down here for TSLfive looks like he is going to be walling off here momentarily, but going to toss down his command center first. Wow, fast expand. He got that down just seconds before ClashLegal. Going to be taking a nexus of his own, so these guys do go for the macro games on this map. That is for sure. Yikes. Looks like a gateway going down for ClashLegal in fairly decent time, so not going to be worried with any photon cannons or anything like that quite yet. But putting down his gateway. No gas quite yet for either player. Looks like the wall off here for TSLfive, though, going fairly well. And that is about it so far. That's the plague of macro games, is the first 3-4 minutes of the game. Usually there's not tons going on to talk about, but that's okay. Looks like this probe going to cruise up here. Is going to be working on the supply depot. However, the barracks about to complete, and Marines will be out before he is able to kill this supply depot. Unfortunately for him, he has been given the orders, but he will not be able to complete. So he's going to have to either go home a failure or die, and neither really super fun, actually, to deal with. But he is going to back out here. New orders were given, so hopefully he's going to be okay. It's not like ClashLegal going to demote him out of his army or something like that. But all in all, not too bad so far. We've got a cyber core gone down. Looks like to be about 75% complete. Double gas here for ClashLegal. Does have his Nexus up and running. Going to be working on saturating this natural here. Second gateway is on the way. Let's take a look at what we've got here for TSLfive. He does have a second racks on the way, so not going to be going for any tech quite yet. Working on those racks in fairly good time, so that's his third rack. Actually, putting down some gas here now. He's got 2 gas about to be complete. Is scouting his opponent's base with that SCV, and there's no attacking units out quite yet. The first stalker is about to be on the field, though. No Chronos going down on that cyber core or the warp gate attack quite yet. Looks like he's going to be saving his Chronos for his economy and for some initial units for defending a potential fast push. Now, we could indeed see that. We've got triple racks out right now for TSLfive, and that is definitely enough to push out with. Here he goes. Oh, no, he's just going to hit the low ground for just a moment. See if he is going to push out or not. Looks like he may. Probe here, not going to last very long. 2 Marines. And looks like TSLfive is going to back out. Not going to push quite yet, but he is going to be grabbing a tech lab here on this racks and a tech lab on this one, and a reactor on this one. Looks like a supply depot here. The neutral supply depot is going to go down. He says, "You imposter. You're not giving me any supply." He takes it out. Smart move. I like it. Pylon going down here in the back. Looks like we've got gearing up for some scouting here for ClashLegal is about it. Notice he's just grabbing more gateways. He's putting down a forge here, so we could see, I would think, some armor upgrades right away is going to be in order. And some attack upgrades, though, not going to be bad choice either. Yep, he is going for armor first. I like it. Go for armor first, guys. When you're playing Protoss versus Zerg, tends to be good, especially if they are going for heavy infantry. You know, that armor really comes into play there. Just need survivability because your units actually do a good deal of damage when it comes down to it. But Chrono's going down. It looks like on these gateways here, he's going to be warping in a couple units, potentially. Oh, there we go. There's the warp ins. And he did grab a warp prism here. Looks like the warp prism going to be taking out 4 sentries out across the map here. In the meantime, TSLfive is going to be cruising forward with a fairly substantial force. He's got a good deal of Marines here and a couple of Marauders. And look at this, ClashLegal missing his, oh my goodness, missing his sentries here. He's really going to feel sad about that, that's for sure. Pylon here going to go down fairly quickly. ClashLegal really going to have to do a lot of work to hold this off. Unpowering some buildings there. Ouch. Here come the probes. He's just going to have to pull probes to try and make this happen. Now, he did drop over while we were watching this. He has dropped his sentries. The sentry's doing a good deal of damage there, potentially. There we go. Looks like ClashLegal is going to clean this out, but looks like TSLfive did clean this out over here as well. Control R going to show that he did pick up some workers killed there, but not tons. Looks like workers killed is in favor of TSLfive right now. And everything actually is in favor of TSLfive. He's got higher economy, he's got better SCVs, more mules as well. Obviously, you can't have mules in your Protoss army, but mules do, I mean, that's a lot of additional work there to be done. So better army, better economy. Another forge going down. Looks like we're going to double up on the upgrades. Got these repowered. We do have our robotics bay down. ClashLegal now going to be working on some Colossus here. So that's actually, I think, a smart tech switch here from him. TSLfive getting out a lot of Marauders, though. He's working on upgrades of his own. Looks like he's going to start doing some dropping as well. He's got a reactor here ready and waiting for the starport. Switcheroo should be going down just about any moment. Notice a third going down here. Command center for TSLfive should be flying that out here in just a little bit. Looks like he's going to use this factory to go do some scouting. But we do have our first Colossus out on the field. No more on the way quite yet. I would like to see another one queued up here. And some good chronos going down on these forges. I think would be super smart. He is going to be securing his third. Does kill off a Marine there. All in all, he's not in terrible shape, but he does have to be careful as he moves forward. Looks like a couple zealots here in this dropship. Not going to be able to get tons done over here, especially with this missile turret where it's placed. I guess you could have to drop back here, but by then these units are going to be able to get into position to deal with them. So we shall see. Looks like he's going to cruise around and potentially go for a backdoor attack. Oh, but he's going to get scouted. I think he saw that. If TSLfive was paying attention to his minimap, he would have seen that, that's for sure. Either that or if he was just watching this army, he would have seen it. But all in all, not too bad. Looks like ClashLegal gearing up for some decent defense. He doesn't quite have the units that he needs, I think, at this point. Units tab going to show 61 probes right now to 56 SCVs. Need to see just a little bit more, I think, maybe from TSLfive, actually, before he cruises forward. But it is going to be a drop and then a hit, I assume, to the front base. So kind of a two-pronged attack, potentially, here. Here comes the drop. Looks like a lot of damage going to be dealt here. Stimming forward, and yeah, a lot of probes are going to die here. Especially, look at this reaction time. ClashLegal a little bit behind on his reaction time. And look at this, two-pronged attack is going forward. These guys going to stim forward now, get this army out of position. Yes, he's going to be able to clean up here, but not until there is a lot of damage dealt here by TSLfive. Nice play here from TSLfive, our Terran player. Really showing a lot of strength here in his strategies. I like it. Looks like ClashLegal going to have to rebuild this position here immediately, but TSLfive in the meantime is backing out. Now, ClashLegal did take a hidden base. I think it could potentially work in his favor, but if it does get scouted, he's not in good position to defend this here at all. He has to stay defensive at this point. He cannot lose his tech structures, so you won't see him going down here to defend that position. He'll just have to sack it. So it'll come down to whether or not Clash or TSL5 rather, gains that intel that he does have it there. If he does go down and scout it, then it's going to be brutal. Looks like a Marine going to be cruising out to the center of the map, going to hold this Delnaga tower. We still have these medevacs ready and waiting for a potential drop, but looks like there's plenty of defenses here. Well, maybe not plenty, but he'd have to drop very, very quickly to make sure not to get those guys sniped. But if they do fly a little bit too far over, then these these stalkers and this photon cannon would be able to snipe those medevacs so quickly, so very quickly. Nice looking unit composition here. He needs to have a little bit more ground forces, but he does have, or I mean, like, you know, gateway units, I should say, not ground forces. But gateway units to soak up some damage and just become a little bit of a meat shield for these Colossus. Nexus now being retaken here for ClashLegal. Be tossing down a Templar Archive, so we could see some potential storms, maybe. We'll see. I'd like to see some storms. But look at that. +3 on the way, +2 armor for our Terran player. He has got a rockin' and rollin' force here. Got a bunch of Vikings now out on the field as well. Wow, look at that. 6 of them. Going to be able to deal with those Colossus that much faster. And TSL5 about to be maxed out here, but he is not going to wait for that. Looks like it is go time, and looks like his push going to commence. He's got a bunch of units streaming out across the field. Now, ClashLegal did scout this. He does have his observer here, so hopefully he's going to be prepared for this. Because do you see that scan going down? Colossus now in the back. He's trying to split this army up, getting ready for as best of an engagement as he possibly can get here. Good force fields going down there is going to be very, very helpful. Look how quickly these Colossus are going to be falling to these Vikings, and there's just not much here to deal with the Vikings. I think this is going to be game. TSL5 going to be cruising forward here, obliterating his opponent's army here. This expand here, not going to happen. That is for sure. And up to the high ground he goes. TSL5 going to be taking out all sorts of units, and there it is. GG from Legal. Game number 1 going to TSL5. Game number 2 will be headed our way here in just a moment, so don't alt-tab, always let Starcraft. We'll see you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. It is on Shakuris Plateau. Game 2 in our best of 5 finals here. ALT-Stracraft's Open Arena Tournament. Really going fairly well tonight. I mean, I have to be very, very pleased with the games that we've seen thus far. The players that we've seen come and go. We've had some problems here and there with you know, bracket reporting and websites crashing and such as that. But you know what? All in all, there's not much to complain about here. We've had some really phenomenal games. ClashLegal now in this game is going to be spawning as our Purple Protoss, as usual for him. Down here in the bottom right-hand corner, bottom left, is TSL5, who is currently up 1 game in this best of 5. Spawning as our Green Terran, down here in that bottom left-hand corner. Going to be a nice position here. It is fairly close positions by air. But wall-off going down nonetheless here on the high ground for TSL5, so we'll see how he's going to proceed from here. Looks like ClashLegal going to be chrono boosting out. Looks like a standard opener thus far. Not going to be going for a super fast expand. I don't think quite yet. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for standard opener here. Gateway gone down in fairly decent time. And going to send this guy out, I assume, for some scouting. Headed up to what appears to be... No, he's headed to the right direction. Yeah, he's headed the right way. Going to find his opponent's base here in great time. So ClashLegal doing a great job scouting thus far. Barracks going down. We do have the refinery going down for TSL5 as well. ClashLegal making it up here is going to see the timing of that Rax. Probably going to see an orbital command here right away from TSL5. As soon as that Rax is complete, there goes your orbital. Good crisp timings from these guys, man. I always love to see that. They prove to us every single time why they are GMs and masters here. ClashLegal tossing down his Cybercore like this in fairly decent time. Looks like an extremely standard opener. Going to go ahead and grab his gas here at 3 minutes and 10 seconds about. And so is going to have a great... I think a good opportunity to be setting himself up the way that he wants in this game. So hopefully to start making that comeback. He doesn't want to make it match point here in game number 2, that's for sure. But TSL5 got other ideas. He is going to be working on his reactor here on this Rax. Second gas gone down, so I'm going to have to assume we're going to see some serious tech out of him momentarily. Yep, it is going to be factory, so let's assume 111 at this point. And deviations will only come due to scouting. ClashLegal is still working on his warp gate tech. Just the one racks right now, or gateway rather. We'll see if he's going to take and expand here. He's not quite floating enough minerals to do so yet, but well, he could get there fairly quickly. Looks like a Marine cruising around the field here. Legal going to be keeping this Zelnaga Tower for just a moment. What is this guy doing up here? This stalker's looking around for proxy buildings, I believe. We do have an SCV here. Factory about to be complete. Not going to go proxy, though. He is going to put the Stargate down in his base. Did he see that guy? I don't think he did. Interesting, though, but ClashLegal not taking anything for granted here. That's crazy stuff, man. He is going to be looking around very diligently, trying to find any units that he can possibly kill. Doesn't want any proximity buildings, none whatsoever. Look at this. He's going to be grabbing a Stargate. Phoenix chrono boosting out at this point. Should be tossing down a couple more gates here in just a moment. Cool. First Phoenix now out on the field. Second one going to be chrono boosted out as well. Couple units here. Looks like Stalker's going to be pushing up this ramp. And wow, look at that. A pylon going down in a forward location. Nothing at this natural, so it looks like ClashLegal is going to wait just a moment. It means he knows that, oh, look at that. He's scouting it there with his Phoenix. He is going to see a heck of a lot of Marines, but he also did scout the starport with the tech lab, so he knows what's headed his way. We are going to see, I assume, yep, a robotics facility. There it goes. And get some solid detection out. Now, ClashLegal's got to be careful. Doesn't want to make the mistake that we saw earlier in tonight's tournament, that you get that detection sniped, and it just makes those Banshees so very effective when they can use that cloak for a big 1-1-1 all-in push. And it looks as though TSLfive may be gearing up for exactly that. Notice he just has triple racks, one starport, going to be working on his Raven first for that detection, and then grabbing a couple Banshees. Good scouting here from Legal. Is going to see what's going on. Chrono boosting out even more Phoenix here. He wants to be able to snipe, number one, the Raven. He's got to snipe the Raven first. That's the order. You want to get rid of the Raven because you don't want him to have detection. You want to keep your detection clear and free. So you snipe the Raven. And then the Phoenix will have free reign on those Banshees, and that's exactly what you want in this position. So look at all these Marines, though. Marine's going to be super effective here as he moves forward. Does have the factory complete now with a tech lab, or I mean the tech lab complete on the factory is the best way to say it, I guess. And a siege tank now out on the field. And a good bunch of stalkers here at the front door. Looks like he's going to go ahead and try and do some damage, but he should be able to back out here fairly quickly. Started that building on fire. It may even burn down. 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Burned down. Amazing. Good snipe there from ClashLegal. I like it. Now he is taking an expand. He's got to be careful moving forward here. Does have detection here and needs to get a couple stalkers. They're in okay position though, I guess. Phoenix here yet again. Looks like these stalkers just trying to be as pesky as possible. Phoenix now picking up some units here. Look at that, picking up Marines. Now going to be working on the mineral line. I like it. In the meantime, look at this. TSLfive is going to be pushing out. He did bring a bunch of SCVs, and this is his big push here. He's got cloak complete. He's going to try and snipe all of that, all of the detection. Give those Banshees free reign. He does have double siege tanks. Siege tech obviously already completed, and a good bunch of Marines there. Looks like, look at this. Legal going to go ahead and sack this Nexus. I like this play from him. Now, he does need to find a way to get in there and take care of that Raven. A little bit out of position there, actually. Now, TSLfive, got to be careful, but he is backing out a lot with these Marines just to try and deal with those Phoenix there. So, kind of an interesting play. Looks like that Nexus does go down for legal. And the all-in commences here for TSLfive. Now, he does have a Colossus out on the field here for legal. Still is being fairly active with these Phoenix, but here comes the attack and be cruising up here. In the meantime, he's going to go for a small counter here. He's got some Zealots be cruising around here. Look at this, these units already up on the high ground, and ClashLegal's got to figure out how to engage this army here. TSLfive not in bad position here. I think this is a great position. But here comes the main attack. Colossus going to be doing a great deal of damage here, trying to draw these units into the firing range of the tanks. Indeed, are doing exactly that. And wow, the tanks obliterating that line. ClashLegal going to be in a little bit of trouble as he moves forward here. He did save this Colossus, super important, but it's being chased down by Cloaked Banshees. He did lose his detection, and that is making the difference here yet again. Wow, TSLfive doing a lot of work here, and it looks as though he may be able to take down this win momentarily. Looks like that last Colossus is going to be trying to battle it out, and it is down to probes at this point, trying to make it happen, and that is not quite going to be enough. Wow, good game, it appears. ClashLegal going to GG out of that one. And that is going to take us to game number 3 here momentarily. So thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't ALT-Tab, always ALT-Stracraft. See you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. It's game 3 in this best of 5. And it's actually match point here for TSLfive. This guy, wow, so very strong. With all of his builds so far, I just haven't seen tons of holes in his gameplay, man. He is really, really on fire and on target. Got a phenomenal show of strength so far. Match point for him. He's got one more game to go to take home the main cash prize. Of course, both of these players will get paid. There is first and second places do get paid in this tournament. Our weekly not let it ride. I was about to say let it ride. We close down let it ride, but it is ALT-Stracraft's open arena. TSLfive is going to be spawning up here in the top left-hand corner as Green Terran. He likes that green color. Cross positions. ClashLegal going to be spawning as our purple Protoss. And yeah, it looks like a standard opener here for ClashLegal. Pylon going down in fairly decent time. We'll assume a standard opener here as we move forward. Looks like TSLfive got the same type of idea. Nothing crazy quite yet from either player. Looks like they're playing fairly safe. No scouting quite yet either, though, so both playing blind. Now, Tal'Darim is a fairly big map, but well, I mean, it's not as big as that. What do we call it? Calm Before the Storm map. That thing is enormous, man. But the third on this one, it just depends. I don't know. It sometimes can be easy to take, sometimes can be difficult. It's very situational, which is one of the things I really like about this map. Taking the third really comes down to situation, and I think that's the way it ought to be. And I think there's a lot of other maps that try and do the same type of thing. They try and make taking a third a situational endeavor, and it really makes gameplay, I think, a little bit more exciting, because they can't just easily take a third and all of a sudden just able to go into a macro game. But ClashLegal doing the first scouting of the game. Has scouted that top right position first. Does pass a SCV on his way to his opponent's base. Is going to make it in there in just a moment. Looks like TSLfive cruising straight across the map here. Maybe the GS or the MLG version of this map forces cross positions. I don't think it did. Maybe they changed it though, so I don't know. But he is scouting directly across the map here right away. Looks like Probe going to get chased down by a Marine. Looks like he should escape though with his life. Here comes your scout from TSLfive. Going to see Chrono going down on the gateway first. Going to be working on that Stalker. Cybercore on the way. But ClashLegal didn't bother to get a Zealot. He's just going to go straight for the Stalker. Gateway's going down. Looks like triple gates right now for legal. Oh, look at that. Sneaky little pylon. He is going to be guarding this tower as well. with this probe, so we will spot any movement. We'll let him know whether it's time for a counterattack or not. Needs to get this warp gate tech out and running, though. Notice he is chrono boosting that out. I think a smart move there. Pylon going down here at his choke, I guess, at his natural. Not a bad little deal. Setting this probe out yet again. Well, what is he doing? He's tossing down his 4th gateway here. How very interesting. So 4th gate going down, and uh-oh. You okay? Okay, looks like we're all right. I'm not entirely sure what he said, but it appears to be good. Something to the tune of it's time to get back into the game. So indeed we are back in the game, but I'm still very mystified here. Look at this. 2 more gates going down, so this is a 5-gate push. ClashLegal essentially going all in here with this push. He is going to cruise up here, is going to see this bunker going down, trying to bait these Marines here. It looks like a little bit, but only 2 racks right now for TSL. And not gearing up for an expand quite yet, but I half expect to see him go ahead and toss down another command center, but he hasn't done it quite yet. But the bunker here is going to be a good deciding factor. Now, TSLfive has been doing some good scouting here. Look at that, ClashLegal pretending like he's going for an expand here. But we all know that he is not. He is indeed going for a big, big push. Now, TSLfive up there on his high ground. Look at this. He's salvaging the bunker. This is big. ClashLegal did indeed trick his opponent here. So ClashLegal about to make this happen. Hopefully he's going to be cruising around. Look at this. The push coming out for TSLfive. Looks like TSL is going to go for a push, but ClashLegal is going to be in fairly decent position. Oh my goodness. Scouted. For counterattack is what I was going to say, but it is scouted now. Good force fields going down. Splitting that army. Going to be taking down a good number of these units there fairly quickly, but look at that, how quickly these Marines, or not Marines, but the Zealots are evaporating there. But good unit composition here for ClashLegal. Those force fields going to be extremely effective. Looks like he's going to try and get down another bunker here, but is it going to be in time? We can assume more warpins are going to be on the way. ClashLegal is probably going to push up this ramp here momentarily. Notice that TSLfive is still working on a command center here. Going to go ahead and finish that up. Looks like he believes he can hold here. He did pull a bunch of SCVs to help out. Wow, look at that. 12 SCVs he pulled to try and deal here. But looks like this bunker is going to complete, and that's going to make the difference. ClashLegal really waiting too long, I think, to push this attack. Doesn't want those bunkers to complete, but the second one is on the way. This first one about to be complete. He's going to fill that sucker up with Marines. Nice defensive position here. But here comes your attack. A good unit composition here for ClashLegal. Great force fields going down. Going to be splitting that army up quite a bit. Going to start working on that bunker here in just a moment. Looks like he may skirt it just a little bit. Unloading it, but TSLfive with just enough units to hold on here. And there's the GG. 3 games in a row. TSLfive. Unbelievable show of strength. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming out. Thank you to both of these players. And congratulations to both of them for coming this far, for placing in the cash. And congrats to TSLfive for taking down that grand prize. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Don't alt-tab, always alt Starcraft. We'll see you guys in just a little bit for some show match action.